Alright, tree? Alright. Well, what up? Hello. um, I can give you a countdown in a bit. We're just pretty much gonna be starting because there's gonna be like two cutscenes that are gonna take a while, right? They take like roughly a minute, so we can just explain things while that happens. Pretty much the run will start when I'll be skipping the loading. So there's gonna be this cutscene, there's gonna be another loading. I'm gonna have to press space, and the countdown the timer will start. So we can start right here. Probably like a. Well, is there anything you want to say first, Alo? Because Alo will be joining me as well. I'm personally Deebzad, by the way, and also Alo is here. Another Dying Light runner. Didn't really present him, but he's here.
Yeah, I'm just a Dying Light one runner on console, but yeah, that's kind of it.
All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Yeah. I guess like I can start by saying that this run is quite glitched, especially the beginning. Like the first, I want to say 6 minutes or 10 minutes or something. We'll pretty much see like all the glitches we use in the game, but to like small degrees, right? Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's one glitch that's gonna come at the end that we won't see anywhere else. It's probably like my favorite, but otherwise it's kind of like, I don't want to say redundant, but like the glitches are kind of redundant as to, well, I mean, I can say it right now. There's like a bunch of out of bounds, right? So that's one of the glitches. Also, like a certain menu glitches that we'll be using. Yeah, like the prologue is probably the part that's like the hardest. Just because there's so many things you have to do, right?
Reset City, as we call it.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, so I guess you can explain the story a bit, Alo, if you want.
Okay, so the story: we are Cal Crane, a GRE operative sent by the GRE in Iran because someone named Kadir Suleiman stole a GRE file containing a cure for the zombie virus, but incomplete. So if used incompletely, it can cause real bad damage. So we were sent in Iran to retrieve it. But as soon as we landed, we got bit by a zombie and then saved by those people here in what they call the tower.
Yep.
And we're trying to gain their trust right now. So that's what we're doing.
Yep. Alright, well, here's the first out of bounds, by the way. Alright, we got it. So, in out of bounds in this game, the game is like full of checkpoints, right? Checkpoints work in a way that like there are at a specific spots. So you actually have to walk in specific spots to trigger them. I'm sorry. So what I did there is actually walk into the pole because there was a specific trigger there. So we're gonna be doing that for like pretty much all out of bounds in this game. Alright.
So I want to point out the fact that we're running in French because some triggers for this game are dialogue dependent. So the trigger will be triggered
Yep.
at a certain part of the dialogue of the NPC. So French is the fastest to get to that part of the dialogue to initiate the trigger. So which is that's why we're running in French.
Yep. Actually saves you a bunch of time as well, right? Like several minutes compared to English, of course.
I think Bob said around 2 to 3 minutes, if I remember right.
Gotcha. Alright, so here you might have noticed that I've been grabbing duct tapes, and I've also been grabbing, well, ingredients for a medkit, right? Well, the medkit is pretty much part of the tutorial. We're just going to be giving to him. The duct tapes, though, are coming, and it's probably my least favorite part of the run, but it's also really interesting. The reason why I'm saying it's my least favorite, well, you'll see. It's pretty much like, if you were to do it ideally, I'd say 20 seconds of literally like a sequence of inputs that's like really, really precise. And we'll be doing that in order to like dupe pretty much 8K duct tapes. I'll just like let Alo try to explain it, how it goes, because it's actually really complex.
Alright, so basically what we're gonna do... Wait, you want me to explain how the dupe works?
Oh, sort of, yeah, you can like summarize it, I guess.
Okay, so when you store something in the stash, the game, if you have a bunch of that item, the game will tell you how much do you want to store it. And what we do is as soon as we open the stash, we click on the object before it's shown. So the game will like make us see how much do you want to store that thing. But as you can see in the gameplay here, we can still move the cursor to like change objects in the background. So now we can go to any objects and say, oh yeah, drop 36, or you know how many items you clicked before the stash open.
Yep.
So you can have 2,000 duct tapes like seen here. Open the drop how many duct tapes, go to the tin cans, and say drop 8,000 tin cans. So that's gonna be really useful later in the run when we're gonna grab something to give us EXP.
Yep.
And of course, we're gonna dupe that to get max level and get a really cool grappling hook to go even faster.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. So, here there's gonna be also kind of like sequence breaking, kind of, not really. We're just mostly like skipping parts of gameplay by like dying, but we're not actually dying because you can die in tutorial, right? So what we're gonna be doing is pretty much just triggering certain checkpoints by like, well, you're not actually. Can you explain how that works? I'm not even
So
sure myself.
we're triggering a checkpoint right there before he fell. You could see on the bottom right there was a like save icon. That means he hit a trigger. You can see it right there when he talks to Raim. So we do that, and then we jump into the void, and the game makes us respawn next to Rahim when we activated the trigger.
Right, okay.
Basically, that's what happens.
Right. I'm not a new runner of this, like I've been running this for a while, right? But like I'm not the one who routed it, and there's certain parts of the run that I'm like not clueless of. Like I sort of know what we're doing it, but like it's still kind of complex to me because like there's so many things going on in this game that like the checkpoints are also really confusing. Like routing the game was probably really confusing. Also, you might have noticed I've kind of like went out of bounds, sort of. It's actually so we skipped like pretty much the whole parkour tutorial. Also, you're supposed to get like a seizure skip, and I'm trying to do this pass like really fast. We should be able to manage. Yeah, okay, like the screen would change color, and here at this point, if I was not doing animation, I was supposed to get like a kind of like a seizure that you'll see later, I guess. Yeah, there's gonna be a few seizures that are just not skippable. Yeah, so you can pretty much skip it by like getting the landing animation. Also, here comes something that we're gonna use a lot throughout the run. We quit out to main menu really often. The reason why is actually just so we TP, right? Like you trigger a checkpoint or you trigger a dialogue, whatever, and then you can just like TP to wherever the game will lead you. We're also gonna be using like we're gonna be changing the side quests in order to use and in order to TP at those side quests later.
Yeah, so basically how it works is the game checks what quests you have, and you know, like we select a quest, we go back to main menu, we come back in, and the game will check, oh, he's doing this side quest. Let's put him near that side quest so he can go do it.
Yeah.
And by abusing that, we can basically TP around the map without, you know, running around.
Pretty much.
So it's gonna be used a bunch during the run.
Also, we did talk about duping earlier. Oh, you can get pretty much infinite money out of it, but you can also get infinite XP, which is probably like the biggest reason we're doing it. Obviously, like, you know, money is useful, but I think personally that the most useful thing you can get from duping is probably just the free XP. If you've played this game before, there is like relief packages that are used to just level up the survivor rank as well as the legend rank, right? Well, you can get kind of like infinite of them by just doing the duping glitch. So we're gonna be doing that for the crates here. I'm just gonna get one, and one will be enough to pretty much just get everything we need. There we go. Also, I'm grabbing herbs, and I'm grabbing toxic lichen, I believe that's what it's called. Toxic lichen, exactly. The reason why is to make speed boost position that we're also gonna do, and we'll be using that throughout the run pretty much. So here's the relief package. We really just need one. Usually you'd be looting them all throughout the map, but one's enough. Alright. And now here comes the most, probably the most useless, glitch in the game. We're just gonna be like clipping through a wall, but it barely saves you a second. If you want to explain why we're doing it, although.
Oh yeah, we're doing it because, as you see right there was a guy blocking the doorway, and when he comes out of the doorway, it takes time. And by clipping through the wall and going to the other side, we can hit the trigger as soon as it activates, so
Yeah.
we don't have to wait for the guy to get out of the doorway.
It's like half a second, but you know it counts. Also, we did mention checkpoints. Trust me, they are everywhere, literally everywhere. It's like whenever I am like not taking the proper path, or like the path that's intended, I will have to like walk at specific spots to actually trigger the checkpoint. Otherwise like not triggering checkpoints, you know, if you have played a game before, well, it works in a way that you won't be able to proceed with the rest of the quest, right? Also, I kicked. Kicking will not be used all throughout the speedrun, because like speed boost will make it so you have infinite stamina. But kicking will actually reset your stamina.
What happens is when you run out of stamina normally, you get an animation of Crane, taking a breather because he's tired.
Yep.
But by kicking it, you just don't play that animation, and you can just basically skip it and get your stamina back instantly.
Also, I didn't mention that we can dupe for Survivor XP and we can dupe for Legend XP, but sadly we cannot dupe for Agility XP, so we're gonna be practicing Ultra Relevant pretty much. Whenever I have like waiting time, I'll just be practicing.
It's just gonna run around like a madman, grabbing everything just to get some little EXP.
Yep. There's some more duping. Alright. So you might have noticed that I dupe 8k relief packages. Well, that's gonna give you plenty of Survivor XP. And you also notice that I let one relief package in the stash, so we'll be grabbing it later and duping it again, so we can actually get maximum legend rank as well. So Survivor rank will be used for a bunch of things, like getting the grappling hook, as well as like crafting the speed boost. While legend rank is like whenever you unlock like a full tree, because there's Survivor, there's Parkour, and there's what else? Although
Agility.
Agility.
And driving if you count following.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So basically, when we max out one of the trees right there, we essentially just we essentially get we are able to unlock legend levels, and what legend levels do is give you plus, I will say a number, basically plus 1000% more damage on bows, plus 5000 more % damage on basically everything.
Yep.
And we're gonna abuse that for firearms and fists. Those are basically the main ones.
Yep.
That we're gonna use.
Yep. Alright, here I dupe the rest of it. So I duped the speed potion, and I duped the fire crates. There we go. So, alright. Also, you might have noticed earlier, we did pretty fast, so you probably didn't notice. But I actually shopped in the Quartermaster. Quartermaster gives you free stuff, right? Well, we have like a bunch of money anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But when you like shopping for Quartermaster, you want to look for plastic, you want to look for chemicals, and you want to look for also supplies. Plastic is kind of a must. We'll need it for like way later. But chemicals and also supply are not needed, but they are pretty nice to get, because you'll be crafting like grenades that we'll be using for a specific thing later. You can get grenades otherwise, it just takes like an additional, like a few additional seconds. So here what I'll be doing is pretty much just loot, in order to maybe hopefully find the also supply that we're looking for, because we already have chemicals and we also have plastic already. Maybe? Okay, we did not get also supply, but it's okay. There's gonna be 2 more quartermaster we can look for, so that should be fine. Are pretty much just going through the game normally, except that we have the grappling hook that we're not supposed to have this point whatsoever. Well, you mean in New Game Plus you would get it. It's just like the game is not intended for that. I don't think so, because there's gonna be places where we'll kind of just be using the grappling hook in order to like hook invincible walls. Well, we're doing that once, but we'll come later.
We're basically gonna skip a bunch of things with the grappling hook.
Oh yeah. Alright. I'm pretty much just going through it normally, and then when I'm interacting with the last terminal here, I'll actually be adding to Stuffed Turtle. Stuffed Turtle is like a quarantine zone that you can TP to whenever you, well, access it for the first time, right?
Yep.
And we'll use that, like, a lot, so it's definitely worth going there. It's definitely worth going there now, so we'll be using, like, the, as we talked before, safe warping. Just gonna take a second to drink a potion. Alright, so here we'll be changing to Nightmare Mode, if you want to explain what that is, Otto.
So this game has 4 difficulties. There is story mode, which is what we're going to be running most of the time.
Yep.
Just basically an easy game mode. Normal mode, hard mode, and nightmare mode. We're going in nightmare mode because how the booster works in this game is that in hard and nightmare mode, they last way less.
Yep.
But what also happens is that they're considered another booster because you can't just drink the same booster over and over again and stack the boosts. So what we do, we switch here to nightmare mode to get double boosters. So we have the normal difficulty booster running, and we have the hard mode booster running. So we basically multiplied our speed by 2.
Yep.
Also, what we do in nightmare mode is that you might have seen here, but when you open your inventory, the game doesn't pause anymore.
Yep.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna initiate a GRE call later in the game where we literally cannot do anything. We just have to wait. But during that waiting time, we're gonna assign some skills so we don't waste that time.
Yep. Exactly. Oh, I actually didn't drink my potion. There we go.
You can see the potion effects on top left, right next to the health bar.
Yep, it makes a really big difference having 2 potions, by the way. I wish there was a way to actually make like 3 potions instead, but I feel like probably 2 is enough. Alright. Sadly, we can only use that at the beginning, right?
Yep.
That was weird. Yeah, we can only use that for nightmare mode. After that, we won't really be using it, sadly. Alright. I also noticed that I didn't change the placement of my grappling hook and my potion. I'm just gonna do that real quick. There we go. I could have had maybe the time to do it later, but might as well do it now. Also here we're gonna be looking for also supplies because I still don't have it.
Do you have chemicals?
I do, yeah. No also supplies, which is kind of unlucky, but it's alright.
And you see here the 8K survivor relief packages that we got before. He just gave it to the quartermaster. So now we have max legend level, so we can upgrade the unharmed damage right there. Now we do plus 350% damage with fists.
Yep.
And also firearms right here.
It is really strong.
We have plus 250%.
Yeah. The fists are like really strong in this game. You might have noticed that I actually didn't upgrade the weapon damage. Also supply good stuff. So that's good luck there. Yeah, I didn't upgrade like melee damage with like actual weapons because it's actually not that strong compared to the fist. You'll see how good the fists are. All right. I'm just going to talk to Raheem.
Story recap for now. So we managed to gain some trust, and we are gonna right now go on a scavenging mission because Brecken, the leader of the tower, went for one, and it ended pretty badly.
Yep.
So we're gonna take the other one that he's supposed to do tonight. We're gonna go for his place instead.
Yep.
In his place. Sorry.
Yep. I also want to note that to me and to a lot of people, Dying Light 1 doesn't have like that much of a good story. I wouldn't say it's
Oh,
bad, but it's not great. Dying Light 2 is different though. Dying Light 2, I've also been speedrunning Dying Light 2 and playing the game. It's actually a really good story, right?
it is better than
Yeah,
the
it is
first game.
definitely better. Also, The Following, which is one of the DLCs, are good stories. It's just Dying Light 1 is a really good game in my opinion. You just don't really play the game for the story.
Yeah.
Il stocke de l'antisine et raquette ensuite à mort tous ceux qui veulent lui en acheter. Je vais en mission pour récupérer de l'antisine d'un parachutage. Si ça marche pas, ils devront trouver.
Don't have the. Oh yeah, my bad. Just gonna upgrading all that stuff. As well as this. Grab the DIY grenades that we actually got from. Oh. And stuff turtle. Alright, here we go. Now we'll be switching back to story mode because we don't really need the menus anymore. Cool. Alright. Now comes the airdrop quest, which is the part where we actually need the... I wasn't equipping the potions. It is this part that we need the grenades from. You'll see why. I mean, you won't see why, you'll see why, where we would grab it usually. We're actually going to be using the grenades much later, actually.
Yeah.
Alright. So here, there's like, you can barely see it. But on the right, well here, there's 2 rice soldiers and a crate. There's like 2 or 3 grenades in it, I believe. This is where we'd grab grenades. Oh, 3, okay. 3 grenades. This is where we'd grab the grenades if we couldn't craft them. You can kind of see that it would take a little bit more time.
I think it will take around 5 seconds to get the crate opening animation and grabbing all of the grenades.
Right. And that's if you don't get hit by the rice
Rise
soldiers, yeah. Because they'll like cancel your animations. There we go.
Yeah, we one-shotted the zombies with our fists.
Yep. Yeah, fists are really busted. Like, they are actually really strong. Also, I don't think we explained it yet. There's a thing with black screens in this game, if you want to explain what
Oh
that
yeah,
is.
black screen movement. So, what I'm about to say only works on PC, it works way better on console, but what you usually do in black screens is you hold the direction, and then as soon as you press space to finish the loading and go back into the game, you just release all the direction that you pressed, including running. And what will happen is for around 2 seconds after you press space, Crane will just go into the direction you just held for the loading screen for around 2 seconds without you being able to control anything. That can be useful when you get out of a place. It's just a straight line, so you can just hold W and run, and Crane will be able to run 2 seconds.
Yep.
But it's really not that good for PC. On console, however, it is way better because you don't have to hold anything. Right after you press A on your controller to go back into the game, you actually have full control of Crane. Like, you will actually just play the game, so you can do more precise black screen movements on console.
Yep. So it pretty much just makes it so whenever you load the game, you play the game for like as if you were blindfolded for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So like here, it's a good example. I'll play the game like blindfolded for like 2 seconds, but it's like really, like it's the same inputs every single time, right? It's just a matter of remembering them. Well, it's like the different. Well, I mean, I'm saying every single time. I mean, for every single run. But like the thing is, for every save warp, it's different movement, right? So it's actually, well, in my opinion, Dying Light is like a really big memory game. Because like not only do I have to remember all the black screens, I also have to remember. You see, I'm like changing the side quest. I also have to remember every single side quest. I have to change it.
Yeah.
It is a really like it is a memory game for sure, but it's also like, you know, it's not just a memory game. It's also, you know, we're playing a lot, so
We get used to it though.
yeah. I personally didn't get used to it that much. Like I'm still using notes, but hey, it's too precise for me.
Means you're gonna run more.
Yeah, true. Yep. We're gonna be talking to him. Alright. So here we'll head for the first radio tower and the second radio tower, pretty much. If you wanna explain why we're doing that.
It's a story time. After
Yep.
we went to get the airdrops, we called the GRE because we were able to find some antizin for the people in the tower. But in order to find out who got the GRE file that we were looking for at the very beginning of the game, we destroyed the antizin to like initiate an encounter with Rice, which is supposed to be this big bad guy that has all the antizin. So we found him. We found out, yeah, it's Suleiman. Yeah, we know it's him. And here he thinks we're just a random guy from the tower, and we're here to get antizin. So he just sends us activating 2 radio towers for him to maybe get antizin. So that's why we're here right now.
Yep. Okay. This part, volatiles can be really annoying. Volatiles being like a kind of like a mutated zombie that's like really strong. It's not that strong considering we have like kind of like the most OP weapons in the game, and we also have like incredible fizz damage. But they're still kind of annoying because like you know you have to spend the time to kill them and all that. So hopefully they don't mess with that, but actually looks fine. Sometimes there will be like volatiles pretty much everywhere. Like this is why we're throwing the firecrackers so we can actually avoid them, as well as like the zombies beside the garage. But it actually seems like we'll be fine. Nice. Go. There we go. Also, there is I've talked about some RNG in the game, but like that's it. There's no more RNG pretty much. RNG is not really a thing in this game, which is a great thing.
I mean, grabbing the plastic and household supplies.
Yeah, other than that, it's
also
like that's
RNG.
it. Yeah, but like there's really nothing else otherwise. There's like I want to say like around like 20 seconds of RNG, and it's like a pretty long run, right?
Yeah.
Just getting some XP. There we go. Alright. Also, the reason, like, the way I am, like, knowing when to save warp is actually at, like, the bottom right of the screen. You'll see, like, a checkpoint indicator. When that pops up, I can actually save warp. So I'm actually just waiting for that the whole time.
Yeah. Basically, the game telling you that the game saved because, you know, you progressed through the quest.
Yep.
So.
Oh. This rarely happens, but it did. Alright.
Of course, it's a marathon, so you will have all the bad luck. That's how it works.
Yep. Alright, this is kind of like hard way to do it. There we go. Actually, kind of like precise
really
inputs, but yeah. Cool. Also, I'll be going for like a risky strat, but like worst case scenario, I'll die, and it doesn't actually lose you that much time. But if I get it, which would be really nice, I can actually get agility XP. Oh well. I kind of won't really mess it up. Okay. Alright. That's fair. What I would do there is actually grapple on the top, but it's actually really hard to do. I would grab on the top. I will like grapple on the top of the tower, and there's like a agility flag, and it gives me like a crap ton of XP. But sadly, we didn't get it. But like it's only used for the XP, and well, you use the XP in order to unlock like certain skills that make you like climb faster and all that. So it's not really a big deal. It's like waiting time either way. All right. Cool. And now we'll be adding to interesting part where we actually
We'll use the grenades that you crafted.
yeah. Yep. Like I will use the grenades is actually we'll pretty much just kill ourselves. You know, we talked about save warps, but there's also other warps in this game, which is, well, we call them death warps. Whenever you die, you actually get DP'd at specific spots. Sometimes it's inconsistent. Sometimes it is consistent. We won't be using the inconsistent one, but we'll be using the consistent ones, which is, well, there's 2 of them, I believe. The inconsistent one is like much later, and we're still like unaware as to what happens there. Like we're not sure, so we're just not really using it. I mean, one of the runners named Ironby is actually using it, but he's like, yeah, like at the point he is, pro. Yeah, he is. At the point he is, he's actually like, you know, like this one is an hour and a half, I believe. Well, around like an hour and a half and 2 hours. He's like, he's doing runs and he's trying to save like 2 seconds now. In the whole run. He's actually really good. Really good. Alright.
Okay, so what happened here is that we initiated the call, which makes us basically being unable to do anything.
Yep.
We tossed a grenade right before we initiated it. And so when you die, basically the game TPs you to the nearest save zone. And it happens that the nearest save zone is right where we need to go, so
yep.
That's convenient. So yeah, we just kill ourselves to TP us closer to where we actually need to go.
Yep. So yeah, as he's saying, well, I mean, I personally speak French, I can understand it, but like as he's saying, you can see them in the subtitles, I guess. We're just gonna be adding to like, kind of like not steal the money, but like get
Fisherman
protection
village.
money. Yeah, we're just gonna add to like Fisherman Village, just to get protection money for Rise, in order for him to give us this enticement. Also, we'll get introduced to a new zombie here. He's also a pretty interesting one. We're not really dealing with him in this one, sadly. Except like now and the literal next part. Like right after this, we're gonna be dealing with him, and after that's kind of just, well, actually we do deal with him.
See them here and there, but yeah.
Yeah. It's the bombers. Alright. So, earlier I did like unlock the card trap skill. I'll use that. Card trap are like used for just like opening the lights of a car and like attracting the zombies. It actually makes this bombers of the Fisherman Village explode. Sometimes one will be like too far away, so he won't actually explode, but hopefully we'll be fine. I don't know if he exploded, but maybe.
I heard an explosion, but I'm not sure.
The thing is,
Maybe
there's
they
2
all
of them,
exploded.
so...
There's 3 of them.
Oh, there's 3 of them, okay. Well, he didn't explode, but that's okay.
Was he the only one?
He should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. There we go. Now we're gonna head to the second spot where we can actually steal the money. Well, not stealing, but I mean, kind of, right? Prosecuting money is kind of stealing, so.
Yeah.
I guess we can call it stealing.
It's a racket, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And then we'll head for the envelope part, which is actually really simple. And we'll be save warping to Stuff Turtle, which is the place I unlocked at the beginning of the game. Sorry about that. Again, just unlocking some GTXP until I see the checkpoint indicator. There we go. Cool. We're actually heading to like a really interesting part. It's like, in my opinion, one of the most iconic as well. Yeah.
The gas station.
Well, I meant after, but.
Ah, yeah.
I mean, you're right in a way, I guess.
This is normally the first time in the game where you would see someone with a gun.
Right. But since we kind of like glitch the game, we can already get it.
Yeah.
The one with the gun is like above here, right here. Actually, kind of just like stay on the wall usually and try to avoid them, because I took damage, but like it's okay. All right. We lied to Kareem. You can see like I save warp at this spot like multiple times already, right? Oh, this is kind of like what I was saying. It's just the same every single time, so it's not like that bad. But it's a matter of like remembering, and it's not easy. Alright, now we will explode ourselves again. This part can be kind of unfortunate at times. Alright, we got it. You can see like how the wagon is like kind of like diagonally placed. The grenade will sometimes just like slide off, and it's really annoying.
Yeah.
You kind of just stay there for like a minute otherwise. Also, this is probably the most broken part of the run. There's like, I want to say that Dying Light is a really consistent, well, not consistent, it's a really inconsistent game, but it's a really stable game, right? The only thing that's not stable about it is pretty much at this part. If I was to quit the main menu too quickly, like if I die from the grenade as the call is going through, and then I quit the main menu, the game will actually stop luck. But you can just kind of wait for a certain amount of time, and it's all good. So like, it's really easy to avoid, but like, sublocks or softlocks, we don't like them.
So I might explain what is happening right now in the story. So after we activated the 2 antennas, we went back to Rice and said, oh yeah, now I need you to go get the money for me. So that's what we just did.
Yep.
And he promised us 2 crates of antizin, but turns out he only gave us 5 vials, which is not really enough. So we are back in the tower here after there's been an outbreak on the 18th floor. And yeah, basically some kids died. It's really bad, and now we're gonna call the GRE to try and, get some supplies. Come on, help people.
Yep.
So that's what we're doing right now.
Yep. So we're just gonna get a call that's sadly unskippable. In co-op, you can actually skip it. I am not sure how. Actually, never done co-op with this game. I don't know if you've done co-op. Have you, Otto?
Yeah, so how it works in co-op is that you can see behind you there's like a big antenna tower. And what we do in co-op is we all climb it, like 3 players climb it, and then, the last one can go, so we don't all be on the ground here and activate the call. We all jump from the top. We all die where the trigger of the call usually is, so like this area of the roof. So now the game is going to try to make us call, but, we're dead, so we all respawn. Someone go up the roof again, and him being alone will initiate the call, because we're all on the trigger before, so the game is like, okay, let's start the call right now. And so one goes on the roof, activates the call, and then right there you can see the NPC we just talked to. The 3 others will just talk to that guy, and the one on the roof will be able to TP, and that will cut the GRE call, because, we're accepting a side quest right there. So we can skip that call.
Interesting. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yep. Also, this is the place I was talking about, the most iconic place. This actually is cool. I personally think it's the most iconic place. You might not agree. I personally think so. So this
I
is
think
like
museum is still on more people's mind.
true. For like I mean, for the speedrun, museum probably, yeah. And even without the speedrun, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Museum is probably the. I was talking about like our prologue was like the reset city, and it was really hard. I'm not gonna lie, museum is also one of those places. All right. So this is like kind of like really straightforward, even though this is kind of a maze. Well, you know, I remember it, so it's actually really simple. There's gonna be a few places where I'll actually be waiting. Like here. We're actually just waiting for the dialogue to finish. One of the good reasons why French is a good thing. There we go. And another waiting time. Also, shotguns are really OP in this game. I think the difference between shotgun damage and normal... I mean, like normal rifle, it's like 10k damage or something. And yeah, you can...
The max amount of damage a rifle can get is 2,000.
Yeah.
The max damage a shotgun can get is 14,000.
Right. And you can argue that, like, you know, rifles are like automatic. Well, yeah, but semi-auto can actually like kill crowds. I mean, the semi-auto shotgun can actually kill crowd of zombies in one shot. So it's actually much better.
So one thing is that sometimes when you kill soldiers or zombies with a rifle, they will do a dying animation where they swing their arms and, you know, and it takes time for them to actually being registered as dead.
Yep.
But with a shotgun, you just send them flying and they don't do any animation, so they just die instantly.
Yeah.
And
like
sometimes it can save you some time.
Oh yeah, like it's such a it does so much damage that the dead animation is just get cancelled automatically. Oh, there we go.
Wow, that's very unlucky. Here again.
Alright, cool. That's the school. Now, head to Mother's Day. Skip the cutscene. To Mother's Day. There we go. Also, we have to do this part kind of quickly. The reason why is we need to keep the nighttime going. We should be fine since we're gonna be using a lot of save warping. But if I don't make it in time, it pretty much means that I'll have to sleep. And sleeping, well, you know, it takes time. We actually have to get to bed. And we kind of want to avoid that, ideally. So I'll be like save warping a lot. And it's like, realistically, just getting from one point to another would actually probably be faster if I was not save warping. Like after I'm talking to this dude, I'm actually save warping to the exact same spot I just save warp, which is at the bottom of the stairs. So like, you know, it's not that fast. But I'm trying to like absolutely keep the game at nighttime to avoid sleeping.
Also, it is faster on the leaderboards because we're using RTA, so we're not counting the load times.
Right, right.
But yeah, in-game time and real-time attack, yeah, that's
Right.
way slower.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we should be okay. Also, this is I was talking about plastic earlier. We already used the also supply and the chemicals I also talked about. The plastic, if we didn't have it yet, which would be really unlucky, you can get it here, but we're good. We actually got it on the first part, so we're actually pretty lucky with that. I should like barely make it, I think.
I think you should. Yeah, I think you're fine.
Yeah. So this zombie only spawns in nighttime, so you absolutely want nighttime for this part of the quest. You actually need this for well, if you want to explain the story, Alo, a bit, like why we need the bolter tissue and all that
Okay,
stuff.
so we went to the school to try to get some antism, but turns out we didn't get any antism, but we got literal packs of C4 plastic explosives. So we got them, and now, after getting out of the school, we saw this weird green zombie that went away from us. We talked to it to Zere, which is like the scientist.
Yep.
and we basically got a DNA tissue from him, and we went to give it to Zere, and apparently it worked on some kind of cure. So that's really good. And right here, Deep skipped it because we're speedrunning. But also, as soon as we get out of Zere's trailer, Rahim, the first guy we saw in the tower back when we started, went with the C4 and tried to blow up a nest of volatiles that made night missions impossible. And he's bad. He's in a bad shape right now.
Yep.
You could hear him scream. So we're gonna try and save him.
Yep. This is a really glitchy part. This is the place I was talking about earlier. This game is supposed to be, it's supposed to be good to go for New Game Plus, but they don't actually dawn according to the fact that you could have the grappling hook at this point. There's a bunch of like invincible walls you can grapple onto, and we'll be using one of them so we can actually, well, clip out of bounds. Well, we're not clipping, we're simply just grappling out of bounds though.
Yeah.
There we go. And it's also like kind of like the school, but without waiting time. So it's actually like really, really gameplay heavy. All right. Go. There we go.
And this is the first time in the game where we're actually timed to do something. You can see the counter right under the quest on the right. We have 3 minutes to go plant the explosives.
Yep.
Which is very generous.
Oh yeah.
You could do this part just by walking and you will still be good.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think like the first time I did it, I actually did too slow. But it's mostly just because you don't really have the time to kill the zombies. I was killing the zombies, you kind of just want to avoid them. Like it's generous, but like casually, and the first time you might actually have kind of a hard time with it.
Yeah.
Alright. We also get introduced to a new zombie here, I think. We haven't seen it before, right? Have you?
The goon? Yes, we saw him.
Oh yeah, we did.
Back in the tutorial.
Right. I'm sorry about that. Alright, here comes the invisible wall. I'm just gonna take time to actually try to get it properly here. It should be good. Oh, we didn't quite get it, sadly. We do have another opportunity to maybe get it. Okay, I'm not getting it. That's sad. We'll just take the casual way then.
What would happen normally if we clipped out is that we will skip this whole sewer swimming section.
Yep.
We'll just go out, under, and then grapple where we need to go.
Yep.
Through the floor, but yeah.
Unfortunate. That probably means that we also have to wait for the dialogue though. Right?
No.
So if you were to do this part really quick, you can actually skip a part of dialogue, but sadly we'll kind of just have to wait for it.
I think you're gonna be fine.
You
I
think
think
so?
Crane will repeat it himself.
I don't think so. Yeah.
No, yeah, no.
Yeah, we have to wait a bit.
Yeah, what would happen is if we open the crate before Crane finished saying, "Oh yeah, it worked," is Crane will actually say it again right there when he's talking to Brecken,
Okay,
and
great.
it will skip the entire dialogue.
Right,
so
right.
we could get out of here faster.
Can I, like, I've almost never messed up that strat, so. Was I supposed to quit there? Because, like, there's supposed to be another dialogue that comes up, no?
That's the dialogue you cut off.
Oh,
you know.
Okay. Alright. Well, that should be good. Actually, you have to do this part really quick, but, like, the fact that I didn't get the invisible is actually kind of surprising. Because it's really not that hard. Alright.
Well, yeah, it's the marathon. You have all the bad luck.
Right. That's usually how it goes. Alright. Cool. Alright, talk to Brecken. So here, if you had like really bad luck at the beginning, you wouldn't have a rifle. You could grab the rifle right here, but fortunately we do have one, so We do not need it. Let's wait for this guy. There we go.
So yeah, what happens is the story right now, because yeah, everything's exploding, is that after we took care of, you know, Raim and, you know, he's dead, we went back to to Brecken, and we heard that Zere has been kidnapped right now.
Yep.
Because we stole the C4 from Rice. So right now we know he's in Rice's headquarters. So we're gonna go there and try to save Zere.
Yep.
Which is the scientist, if you forgot.
Yeah, exactly. Alright. So. Let's go ahead to Rice Space. I did talk about iconic places, but I also really like this one though. Especially in the speedrun. It's really interesting. We'll like kind of be abusing the fact that our fists are OP. Really, really OP. You'll see why. Alright. Also, we do need some materials to use for the plastic for later. I can keep talking about it. It's just like we're pretty much just preparing for it. But it's, like I said, not really hard to. It's just a matter of getting the ingredients we need. Also, I am doing that for almost no reason.
Yeah, we saved basically like 0.5 seconds doing
Barely,
that.
Yeah. The reason why I clip out of bounds is actually because we have to wait here, right? If you don't clip, you have to pretty much just open the door. So we're actually saving the time of opening the door.
You will have to open the door, and you will, if you stay in that blue zone right there, you will actually have the animation of, you know, putting down the radio.
Yeah. Because we have to stay here for the checkpoint either way.
Nah, you did it a little wrong. What you should have done is go a little bit more on the right, so you wouldn't be in like the blue zone, so you won't have to put down the radio.
Oh, really?
You will still have grabbed the checkpoint.
Okay, okay. That's interesting.
But yeah.
Well, like we said, it's like barely 0.5 seconds, so. Alright. Kind of got stuck there. Okay, so as we talked before, checkpoints. If you do this part too quickly, you have to actually wait here, because there's a checkpoint trigger there. I might die. Yeah, I died.
Wow, really? Like, you shot him like 10 times and none of the bullets hit it.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Well, that's okay, because we just died at the beginning. Alright. I guess I should just take the time to aim, because like aiming is actually much more consistent. Also, I'm kind of confused because they usually always spawn at the same spot, and now since I died, it's like kind of different for sure.
At this point, it should like be normal.
Yeah, now
it should be like normal.
No, it is. Yeah. There we go. And that's the Rice base, but we actually have much more to go. Because we kind of get ambushed by Rice soldiers, and they put us in a pit. We'll get like a really long, unskippable cutscene here. And we kind of find out that, you know, Zere is kind of like in a pickle right now. Yeah. And well, so are we. Well, not really though. But I guess casually you will be. It's just with the fact that we kind of like glitch the game a lot. Yeah, it's not really gonna be a problem. Hopefully. So yeah, can kind of just see how Crane is kind of a badass actually. And you can also see that Rise is the pure villain, classic villain of all games. He's bad because he's bad.
The hero punched me, so I will kill my own soldiers.
Yeah, the classic just being bad for being bad. All right. we don't have any weapons at this point because they all like they completely removed it. In New Game Plus, there would actually be a glitch where we can still have our weapons here, but in New Game, it's not really a thing. But anyways, we can kind of just one-shot everything, so we don't really need the weapons either way. We just want to make
remember
sure.
the legend points we put it into unharmed damage? That's where it comes. We basically can one-shot everything in here.
Yep. Also, the next trigger for the story will actually start when all zombies are dead, which is why I'm like making sure that all zombies are dead, really. Because otherwise, sometimes they'll just be crawling on the floor and actually have to look for them. And you don't want that. Both of them actually died because of the spikes. That's good. So that should be it. Oh, just one more.
He didn't die from the
No, I thought he did, but I guess he didn't. So the dialogue would usually start. I guess we're missing one. Yeah, we're missing one. Sad. That should be it though, right? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Right. And here I'm just looking for metal parts, pretty much. Oh, we got it first try, which is really,
Wow,
really
first-
lucky. Really lucky here. Sometimes you won't actually ever get it. There's other ways to getting it. There's like certain weapons throughout the pit that can be like dismantled to actually use dismantle and then get the metal parts. You'll see why we need the metal parts later. We'll use the metal parts so we can actually repair the machete that we just equipped. We'll repair in order to skip like certain animations later, pretty much. Also, now we get introduced to a new zombie. It's called, I believe, the Destroyer. Right?
Demolisher.
Demolisher, right? I forgot. Yeah. Fists are OP, by the way.
He's a big boy with a big armor, but he can't even take one punch.
The fists are really, really good. Well, at least the game is like not like I actually had to like headshot him. So, you know, if I didn't headshot him, I would have taken like 3 hits instead. So,
Yeah.
it's like, trust me, legend rank is balanced. Also, I timed my my climb so I can actually skip the seizure. Every time the screen kind of just goes yellow like that, yellow green, it pretty much means that the game would usually give you a seizure animation. But we're skipping a bunch of them.
Yeah, during the seizure animation, we can't move, we can't jump, can't do anything, and we're stuck for like 3 seconds.
Yep. And here, for some reason, it gives us a medkit because, you know, why not? Kind of just wanted to kill us, but no, it gives us a medkit. I don't know. Like I said,
Then,
the story.
yeah,
is-
right here I want to say that you skip the cutscene, so I'm gonna say what happens.
Yeah.
Basically, Rice released the GRE file that we're supposed to get, and we learned from that GRE file right there that it wasn't the cure to begin with, it was actually the plan to militarize the Iran virus. So yeah, kinda bad. And
Yeah.
also, Zere is dead, we tried to save him, but yeah. We cut off Rice's hand, and right now we're running for our life.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you might have noticed that there's a bunch of explosive barrels. We actually, even though like one barrel exploded, we're actually pretty lucky here.
Yeah,
There's one
You
barrel.
got the best ones to explode.
Yeah, right. There's multiple of them, and there's one barrel that will pretty much like knock you down. Like it will make you fall down of like a really high height. So you kind of just die.
There's 2 of them actually.
Yeah, right. One of them is actually pretty rare though.
Yeah.
Alright. Now I'm actually equipping the machete, not because I need to hit people or whatever. I just need to make it take some damage, and I'll be just repairing it and skip the seizures, hopefully. So the way this works, you'll get seizures at certain point of gameplay. Also, we cannot sprint, so I'll be using the dodge skill that I unlocked earlier, so you can actually move a little faster. And at specific spots, there's gonna be like a rock and a fence. At those 2 spots, I'll try to repair the machetes in order to skip the animations, pretty much. It's actually not that easy, but like once you remember, I would say it's kind of easy. But you know, it always happens
You
that
get used to it.
yeah, it can always mess up. So here's the first rock. There we go. I actually repaired my weapons, which is actually kind of bad.
Yeah. Now you can't repair your weapons, so there's no
Yeah.
way to skip the second animation.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, I skipped the first animation, right? It's just I cannot
Yeah.
skip the second. Also, the way I'm like kind of like orientating myself is actually just checking the minimap. So this would be
Yeah.
the fence I was talking about on the left. You'd be skipping it. You can see it's not really a big deal though. It's really just a matter of a few seconds. I don't need that weapon anymore. Alright. So that was the
Those
pit.
voices are from a side quest that we picked up earlier, and we're gonna use that to TP right after the cutscene that we're about to get right now.
Yep.
There we go.
Tu le remercieras pour moi.
Just wanna equip everything.
There we go. We got all of our stuff back from before the pit, so you don't actually lose them.
Yep. There we go. Then we go for unhooks. Alright. Alright, here comes another part. That's quite hard. Not this part right here, but we'll head into the sewers for the Savior's Quest, and it's actually really, really hard. Yeah, you'll see why. We'll pretty much just be skipping the whole sequence of the sewers with going out of bounds, but like the problem is with that sequence there's gonna be multiple triggers, like checkpoint triggers we have to go through, and one of them is actually really hard to land. So hopefully we get it. I'm just gonna get more XP. Also, to be gassed up after that. Like, pretty much what you want is be level 5 as fast as possible. Once you're level 5, you don't really need to practice anymore. It's really just a matter of getting level 5 here. Should be soon. Alright, now we're pretty much just TPing in order to get on the bridge. It's actually a really small TP. But, you know.
Not really. It's a really TP. Saves around, like, I think 200 meters.
No, it's not that much. Well, actually, it's a lot. Right. You actually TP really far on the bridge, you're right. Alright. So I'm actually gonna be like concentrating for the Savior's Quest. That's hard. And also like seeing the checkpoint indicator while everything is happening, it's hard. There's just so many checkpoints. Like I guess like do you remember how exactly it goes, Alo, or?
So you go out of bounds, you touch the trigger to spot all the zombos.
Yep.
And then after that, you touch the trigger at the very beginning of the drain pipe to spawn the toad.
Yep.
After that, you go back in bounds. You go out of bounds again. You take the trigger to spawn the rice mans.
Yeah.
And then you take the trigger to the door opening, and then you can go back in bounds and do the rest of it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a lot to take in though. Yeah. It's hard. Also, I quit it now to skip the cutscene because like I think there's like an unskippable dialogue or something. And also,
yeah, there is a dialogue.
Yeah,
but
okay.
You can skip it.
Okay, right. And then I'm skipping this. So here usually you'd be like following someone that just walks. He doesn't walk for that long, but he walks, so it's actually really slow. So you can actually just save warp and he'll be where you want him to be, pretty much. And so will you. Alright. So here I guess I can just let Olo take over because it's actually really hard.
Alright, so I guess I'm gonna tell what happens in the story right now.
Yeah.
So after we got out of the pits, we learned that Jade, she's a woman. She's basically a woman that saved you at the very beginning of the game, and the brother of Raim, that now hates you because Raim is dead, and she kind of blames you for it, even though it's not your fault. But okay. She got all the Zeres research that we need for a cure, and she's going into the Sector 0 where the infection started to give the notes to another scientist called Camden. So right now we're trying to, get to her to like, tell her about everything.
Yep. That works. And here comes the hardest part. Triggering that checkpoint is a pain. It's not easy. Also, I'm triggering a checkpoint backwards. And then the checkpoint. We actually got it. Nice.
Wow,
Hey,
nice.
qu'est-ce que t'as fait?
That is actually really surprising because it's a hard one. That was good. That was actually really good. Nice. And also, there's a lot of parts in this run where we'll be adding out of bounds and there's like water. I think every time there's like water in a section, it's actually going out of bounds as well, right?
Yeah.
Just take some time to drink the potion. All right. That was actually really good. We actually got all the checkpoints. I'm actually kind of surprised.
Nice.
All right, here we're gonna add to the second city, pretty much.
Yeah, the second big zone of the game. Before we were in a zone called Slums, and here we're gonna be in Old Town.
Yep.
Or Sector Zero. Both name works.
Dis à tout le monde de se méfier des sauveurs. Ils m'ont vendu à
Alright. I personally kind of prefer this part because it's kind of like really grapple heavy. What I mean by that is like there's like a bunch of eye roofs that you can grapple onto, so yeah, we're pretty much just gonna be like walking on all the roofs and grappling onto them. All right. Tree moves. Oh, sorry, gotta wait a bit. There we go. And here comes a relatively new strat. It's not that new anymore, but I think it's like one of the newest, pretty much. It's actually kind of hard as well. There's like a bunch of things that we have to do. We pretty much I'll be adding. Well, do you know how that goes, Alo?
So we're gonna talk to the leader of, you know, Old Town here. It was Breaking in Slums, and here it's Troy.
Yeah.
And after that, she's gonna tell us where Jade is, or where she was last seen. So we're gonna go here, and in order to go there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna accept a challenge from the game. You know, like, I don't know, it's like a race where we have to like get 2 flares. And while we do that, the game will tell us to not use the grapple right here. So yeah, final flare.
Nice.
So what we're doing is going where the story wants us to go. And
okay.
oh, you forgot to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
So we'll go where the story wants us to go. Then after that, we're gonna initiate a dialogue that we need to cut in order to like be able to go back to Troy. So we're gonna accept a side quest there. And right after that, we're gonna use the grapple, which will make us TP back to the start of the challenge. And if you remember where it was, it's right next to Troy.
Yep.
So it's like right where we'll have to be after this quest. So
Yep.
it's actually pretty useful.
Yep. Very much. All right. It's actually kind of hard to do though. It requires a bit of practice for sure. We'll talk to Fit in here. Then we'll head on the top. Ideally, I would have a potion by now, but like, drinking a potion is not possible in a challenge, except if you like do it in a specific way. And I missed it, sadly. That's okay though. So good.
There you go.
There we go. Just gotta wait a bit, I believe. Why do I not have legless?
You have to TP back to Fountain back to
Oh.
get away from this.
Right. You're right.
And then you'll get legless.
Right, true that. Yeah, the game
So
just
here
requires
what's
you to like go
happening-
far away from the tower, right?
Yeah.
And then you get okay. They
Then
keep,
you
like,
get the quest we're supposed to TP to.
Right. Whenever the quest appears, there we go. Now we got legless. Cool.
I guess I can explain what happens in the story. So
Sure.
we went back to where Jade was last sighted. So she doesn't want to see us because every time she sees us, it reminds her of you know, her dead brother.
Mhm.
So that's not good. So now we went back to Troy, and Troy has a plan to make sure that people know that there's still people inside the quarantine zone. So what we're gonna do right now is go into a building and put some T4 charges, specific spots, to draw a smiley face into a building with the
Yep.
fire.
Yep.
Something that, you know, zombies cannot do. And right now we're gonna go to the building itself and help the guy that was supposed to put all the charges here.
Yeah,
Also,
pretty
you
much.
see that we went out of bounds to go there faster.
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much. We went out of bounds there, and well, you can maybe guess that we're just gonna go out of bounds again. Like literally, as soon as we enter public phase, which is this part, I mean the sewers, we just go out of bounds again. So yeah, as we said before, this game is full of it. There we go. Cool. And yep, as I said before, the screen goes yellow. You can actually skip the animation, and we skip it by grappling onto the room, pretty much. So here's the explosive, all I talked about. And we're gonna be setting them on certain ovens. Go. Also, here, I kind of dislike this part. What's gonna happen? There will be a zombie that will kind of just drop on the trap, and it will make the trap open, right? What we have to do ideally is grapple onto the second floor. The thing is, the zombie can sometimes get in the way, and also grappling can be kind of scuffed because you actually have to jump in order to grapple properly. Worst case scenario, we just climb up, but getting it would actually be nice. You can see he's kind of like in the way. Get it here. Oh, well, we got it. Cool, nice. We did get it second try, but that was actually pretty good. Cool. So, if you didn't land the grappling hook there, you would actually be just climbing normally and kind of just takes forever. So, you definitely want to avoid that. Alright. Oh. What? Was there a... Oh, there's a zombie?
The zombie on the ground.
I thought he was dead. I was like, why am I stuck?
It's an invisible wall.
There we go. And once we interact with this oven, we'll be surfing. Cool. Alright. Here comes the third oven. The third oven is actually in a room where a new type of zombie is. You won't actually see it. You'll hear it though. It's kind of like a kid zombie. I think they're called screamers.
Yeah, screamers.
Yeah, screamers, right.
And what they basically do is, as soon as they see you, they will shout really loudly. They will cry, basically. And that will attract a bunch of other zombies to your location.
Yep. We almost died, but we're good. So, yeah, the reason why I'm saying we won't actually see it is because we actually skip the trigger for the cutscene.
Yeah, normally the cutscene happens when you open the door, but we're just gonna clip through the wall to not initiate that cutscene.
Yeah, if I can actually clip though. There we go. So you can kind of hear it. It's quiet.
You can hear some kid crying.
Yeah. Also, watch your eyes. I'm sorry. I really just have to like shake my camera to get out of bounds. The way this works is pretty much like, weirdly enough, you have to like jump into the wall, and depending on which wall you're clipping, you actually have to rotate the camera in specific ways. And for that wall, it's kind of just over the best and like just rotate. But fortunately though, if you do it like slightly fast or normal fast, I guess, you have to wait either way. So
yeah. Also, fun fact, this is one of the dialogues that is faster in English than in French. It's around 2 seconds faster in English.
Interesting. And yeah, since like, yeah, you might have noticed, there's like 2 elevators. Since we didn't trigger the first one, we kind of just clipped through the first one.
Yeah, we didn't trigger the screamer cutscene, so yeah, we just clipped through a second elevator.
Yep.
Why? Because why not?
Alright. And then here comes, guess what? Another out of bounds. We're kind of getting to a point where out of bounds are, well, not really. There's more out of bounds that are gonna come, but like, I want to say the very end of the game doesn't have any. But yeah, it depends on which quest we're talking about.
Yeah.
There's definitely the worst out of bounds that's coming, so I'm not waiting for that. But yeah, we did get the out of bounds here. Falling off is actually pretty easy, so I'm glad we made it work. All right. Here comes another part that's somewhat new. I believe like people didn't really experience with the challenges before, but like we kind of figured that well, you can kind of like TP using the challenges. So oh, I actually accepted the challenge. I kind of just want to decline it, but it works either way. All right, there we go. Cool. Let me head into this. This quest, you can see like switching to quests is, like I said, a really big memory game. I actually have to remember those quests. It's not easy, trust me.
Also, sometimes the game will just shuffle around the quest, so it will never be in the same place always. So that's fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Also, I think story time. So we went into the building, we blew up the bombs we set up, and it did a frowny face. So hey, that's nice. People will know now.
Yep.
Except actual freaking jets, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a jet.
Sure, yeah.
A jet launched a missile into the building. So now it's just, you know, a big hole in the building because there was a big explosion. So now we're trying to get Jade because now she saw what we did, so she knows we're in like our side.
Yep.
And now we're gonna try to. We were trying to go to Jade, but she got kidnapped by Rise, and now we have to go to the museum to go save her.
Yep. All right. We're just waiting for a quest. I mean, for the checkpoint indicator, I'm sorry. Also, you might have noticed I upgraded my agility XP. That's because I got level 5, so we can actually climb faster and we can vault now. Which is going to be... Well, the vaulting is going to be useful for only certain parts. And the free running adept, which means we climb faster. Well, you know, I've been climbing throughout the run, so definitely useful everywhere. Also, here comes my least favorite part. Literally.
Hold the parts for your least favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is like a real nightmare for speedrunners.
Oh yeah, I mean like, I mean I wouldn't say this is my least favorite because I actually find this really cool. It's just like it's something else. It's actually probably the hardest part. Well,
yeah, it's a real run killer.
Yeah, like we talked before about like the prologue, and Hologram mentioned that a museum is also one of those places. Well, you'll see why. So that's the first out of bounds, which is relatively easy. But here comes the second, and I'll let Olo take over and explain what is going on, because it's not easy.
Let me explain barrel skip. So normally in the actual main game here, we would have to swim for around 2 minutes, which is very slow.
Yep.
Everyone hates swimming. But Bob found a way where you can see those 2 barrels floating here. And what we can do is put a barrel next to the wall in order to climb on it. Then put a booster, and then while you pick up the booster in the water, the game will think you're on the water. I mean, you're out of the water. You're like, you know, and you will be able to grapple.
What?
Yeah, you didn't drop it.
Oh. Wait.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, you.
Well.
So yeah, so that's you can grapple here, and what would usually happen if you did it right is you climb there we go. The barrel here without dropping off because crane is bad. And there we go. And you will clip through the wall here. But then after that you just grapple across, and then after that you have to go to a certain spot while still on the water, and you have to practically spam jump and hope not to get back into the map into the water.
Yeah. It's really something else.
Yeah. Let's see
Sometime.
if you get it.
I've actually got it. That's
And
fucking
oh, you got it. Nice.
nice.
So right here you see touch the trigger. So now we can actually like grapple across and
Cool.
basically skip the big part of swimming here.
Yep. And trigger the
And there we go.
checkpoints. There we go. That was actually pretty good. Barrel skip actually kind of took a while to get, but otherwise this was actually genuinely very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
You forgot one trigger. You forgot one trigger.
Really?
You didn't touch the bottom trigger of like going up the water.
Oh, actually, okay. Interesting.
There we go.
Okay, like, I've actually never had to touch this trigger ever. That's
He's
interesting.
going too fast. The game can't keep up.
I've actually never seen this trigger though.
J'y suis.
That's interesting.
La partie la plus facile. Tu t'en rends bien compte.
Merci de me remonter le moral.
Drink a potion. Yeah, cause like
Now we're in
usually
the
you
part of the
don't
story
like.
where we can't. I'm cutting you off. I'm so
That's
sorry.
fine. That's fine. Don't worry. But yeah, usually you won't actually clip into the well. You actually have to swim in it. But I guess it just worked better. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I just want to point out that we're in the part of the game where we are not able to use the grappling hook, so
Yep.
that's why we're not using it as much.
Right. Good to point out.
Alors t'as pas mieux? Je vais limite commencer à m'emmerder.
There we go. There's one there. Now we hope to get a double kill, maybe? We didn't quite get it. We can actually kill the guy in the corner, right? But it's kind of hard, and it's like almost pixel perfect, so. There's one of the seizures, and we'll clip into a wall. Hopefully we can land it. It's actually pretty hard. Alright, we got it. Cool.
Nice.
We pretty much got all out of bounds, which is really nice. Here comes the vault skill, like the reason why you use vault. You can see there's a lot of zombies. Otherwise, you just kind of get stuck in all of them. Cool. Just trying to avoid the explosion. Should be all. And then, you know, the screen turned yellow, but I actually skipped it by drinking the potion. Also, here comes unskippable cutscenes. Museum from now on will have 2 unskippable cutscenes. One of them being, well, this one being sort of long, the other one being kind of really long. Lots of things are going on in them, though. For this one, I guess although we can explain the story, the second one actually has like specific things that are interesting. But
Yeah. So, story time. So we are in the museum to rescue Jade. Right here, we rescued her, and yeah, okay, I'm gonna say it because we're spoiling. But we're gonna see that Jade is infected
Yep.
later down the line. What shall we do? You'll find out soon. Oh, and also now Rise as the Zeres research.
Yep.
Instead of Jade.
Here we just gotta kill a bunch of zombies. Which is another one of the reasons why shotgun is really good. As you can see. I think that's it. Yeah, cool. Alright, here comes another cutscene. Actually, I lied. There's 3 of them. Yeah, there's 3 of them. I kind of
You
figured
liar.
that. Yeah, I kind of figured that this cutscene was like 1, but you know, there's like just a few zombie killing between them. So yeah, as Olo said, we kind of find out that she's infected. Got bicked on the leg, sadly. And for some reason, unknown reasons, Rise is giving us Antizin. Why? I don't know. Isn't he trying to kill us? He is, but As I said, Dying Light 1 story is something.
He's the bad guy. Boo.
Vas-y, j'en ai encore
He's
un
bad
peu.
for being bad, but he's also bad for like making the story progress, which is it is what it is.
Quoi? Non. Jade, je peux pas.
Alright. Alright, here comes the interesting part. It's kind of like auto scroller though. It's really good to see, but it's just not really any tricks that are hard or anything.
Crane, tu m'entends?
And also I can't sprint, which is why I'm
Jade,
dodging.
où es-tu? Jade.
Alright. Here comes the part I was talking about. We're pretty much gonna be like going through the memory of Crane, I guess, kind of. And
Not really.
well,
This is what happens when you turn. Basically, you're on acid basically, and you like see your memories, kind of.
yeah, I guess. Well, I actually fell down there? Okay. It is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna be like going through the memory though. Like we'll see everything that well, not everything, but like we'll see multiple cutscenes that we actually didn't get to see. Well, not really, because you know we're kind of skipping them. But also, fun fact about Brecken, which is the
Leader of the tower.
leader. Yeah, I guess I was trying to find the word for leader. He's the leader of the tower. Fun fact, you just never see him. You see him in like multiple cutscenes. You just don't see him in this run.
In speedruns, we
Yeah.
see him in the main game, but
Yeah.
speedruns, yeah, we basically skip every appearance of him.
Yep. Wait, I'm confused. Okay, we're good. Oh, was Zeri right there?
Yep.
What? How did I?
The game moved the platform while you were grabbing it, so
Oh,
it just fell
okay.
down.
Interesting. Alright. There we go. Also didn't get to see that. I think Aldo mentioned it though. Ryan becoming a zombie.
Yep.
And here we'll head to another unskippable cutscene. You can see this has been pretty much a whole scroller. Fun fact, you can actually clip out of bounds here. Even though we cannot like sprint, we can't really jump that far, we can't grapple, you can actually go out of bounds really easily. That's just not really used for speedrun though.
Yeah.
But yeah, this cutscene is actually much longer as well. So what we'll see is the power of Jade. We'll see her turn, but we also see we actually, well, we didn't miss it. We literally went by it at the very beginning of the game, like in the first 20 seconds. You see a poster of Jade in the tower, and you learn that she's like a kickboxer pro, or she used to be at least. And well, we'll see her skills there, as she'll turn as well. And also we'll notice that magic is a thing in Dying Light. So yeah. And we'll also experience the power of Fist again. I want to say it's the last time we experience it. It's probably the most satisfying part for the Fist though. That's for sure. I think we might use them for a few zombies here and there, but yeah.
Yeah, in the clinic.
Yeah, right. There's her kickboxing skills. Also, if you're into the story, this is probably the saddest moment. Personally, even when I play the game casually, didn't really experience any emotions for this part. It's not that great. Like, don't get me wrong, the cutscenes look good, right? It's just the background behind it that's relatively eh. But like the parkour, the gameplay, all the content in the game actually, you know, it makes the game itself.
Yeah.
And we also can like Crane as just like as we said earlier, the fist. His fists are just so strong that he can actually snap neck just like that. Like it's not that easy, but Crane does it. Also, here comes the magic part I was talking about. Yareem, which is the left-hand man of Tahir. Fuck, I'm sorry. But yeah, this guy will actually go through the door because That's what he does. Yeah, he just doesn't open it. Doesn't bother.
And apparently going through the door makes you a giant.
Right. That also. So here, as you might have noticed, Tyre went out the door. He's supposed to come for us. We can kind of just...
And he's huge.
Oh, yeah. He really is. There we go. You can actually one-shot him if you hit him in the face, but, you know, it works either way. So we don't need this weapon, even though it's really good. And then we kind of just side dodge until we get to the end of this part. We did just fight the here, which is like, as Olive said, kind of just like a giant. And he's supposed to be really strong, but we actually like, well, we two-shotted him this time. We can actually one-shot him. But the real boss fight is actually coming up right here. If you don't have a weapon, this boss fight, well, this boss fight, it's not a boss fight. It's really just two right soldiers, but they actually dodge all your attacks pretty much if you don't have fist. So you can actually just grab a weapon to kill them. It's not that hard.
Real
it's just,
final boss.
Right, exactly. It's just, you know, it's not that hard. It's just harder than the actual boss fight, which is funny. Alright. Let me equip all that stuff. There we go. Alright.
And museum is done.
Yep.
Et Rice nous a obligés à nous battre pour de l'antisine.
There we go. Now
In
we
progress.
Alright. Right. You actually get that every single time. Isn't it like a progress of an achievement?
Yeah, it's the all save zones.
Yeah, okay. Alright, here comes I was talking earlier, if you were not there, I'll repeat. It's that warps. We won't actually be using this part because it's actually an inconsistent one. You can see the gas there. You can actually shoot in the gas. And hopefully TP on that top of the tower right there. We're actually just going there, well, normally I guess with a grapple, because it's really inconsistent. We don't know why, but sometimes it TPs you on top of the tower, sometimes it doesn't. So you can actually just go up anyways. It actually doesn't save you much time. It saves you probably a few seconds, so yeah. Also, I'm kind of just like going back to everything I said. We're going to, I wouldn't say the most interesting quest, but the most interesting glitch, that's for sure. I guess we can keep it until we can actually see it, but it's actually a really interesting glitch. Probably the most, like the funniest one as well. Also, I just went in the border of the castle in order to trigger that checkpoint, and triggering that checkpoint and sub weapon will actually make me TP to the door I want to go at. And like the door is like a few steps away from here, but you know, sub weapon is side depressor. Wait, did not work? Oh yeah, forgot.
You didn't change the quest.
Yeah, I forgot. That's okay.
Vérifier que le signal est assez puissant pour passer outre le brouillage. J'espère qu'une fois.
Now the door should be in front of us. There we go. Alright. There's gonna be one out of bounds. It's relatively simple. Going out of bounds there can be complicated, but once you're in it, it's kind of simple. I might jinx it by saying that, but it should be okay.
It's RNG to get in. Sometimes we'll get it first try, sometimes it'll take 10 tries.
Yeah. But I mean, it depends. It depends on where you try to do it. I won't actually be going for the RNG part, because the RNG part is not something I've really practiced, and it's not really that fast. I mean, if you were to land it first try, it's probably like a few seconds faster, so it's not really a big deal. So we can just do it this way. I just need to like grapple on a specific spot here. Can't quite get it. There we go. And we have to grapple on this. There we go. Also, I don't know if you explained what's going on with the story. I mean, this quest, like the story was.
So we were in the museum. We killed Tahir. We found out that he only had one of the two packages for Zera's research. So now we're gonna try. We want to get that, but first we have to get more time because the Ministry of Defense wants to bomb Iran because of the virus. So what we're doing right now is going to the antenna of Iran, which is like the biggest antenna. We're gonna try to go through the jammer and, you know, warn people about he's a murderer, he wants to kill us, and maybe it will make sure that we don't get bombed.
Ok.
Yep.
So
Elle est où cette carte?
that's what we're doing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Je dois fouiller le secteur. Tu veux dire
For
que
this
ça,
part,
c'est
it's kind of straightforward. Usually you'd be looking like through 2 spots and try to look for the key card, but we kind of just know already where it's at. It's just right here in this container. You see this bitter? What is his name? What's his name again?
Good.
Goon. Okay, so you
No,
kill it.
Toad.
Toad, right? Toad. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay. We kind of just wanted to get damaged by him. The reason why is we want to be able to use a medkit. Why we use a medkit is actually so we can trigger 3 animations at once. And triggering 3 animations at once is gonna let us, well, do a specific glitch. That's really interesting. That was unfortunate. Okay. I'm just gonna have to wait for the grappling hood here.
Yeah.
That's okay. So you see this tower right here? We actually have to climb it. But we won't actually be doing that.
C'est bon, ça l'est.
Alright. Alright. I guess you can explain how exactly it goes once I'm like doing it.
Oh, the glitch. All right. So
Yeah.
you forgot to activate the fake.
Oh.
So how it works is that we're taking damage, so we can use the medkit. We're gonna stand on like near an edge of something, so the edge of the container, for example. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump, grab the container, so we get the climbing animation. Use a medkit in midair, so we have the medkit animation in the air, and then grapple right as we grab it, as we grab the crate. So that way we have 3 animations. And if you do it right, you can see right there that Crane doesn't have any animations anymore. So what you do is climb a ledge.
Oh, I fucked it up.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
So
I just have to do it
once you have no animations and you're bugged out, you climb a ledge, look behind you, and jump. And what will happen is that you will start flying in the air.
Yep.
In the direction you were looking at.
So I have to clear the zombies. I actually made it, but the problem is I climbed the ledge.
Down.
Yeah, and then my character got stuck, so I actually had to use the shield.
And
I just
you
healed.
healed. Go in the fire.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Might seem slow, but right now it's actually way faster to do that still to
Oh, yeah, for
climb
sure.
the entire thing.
Okay. Please. I'm kind of screwing up, but... Please.
This is a marathon. Of course it's going badly.
My god. It's not that hard, but... I can't do it. Did I make it now? Okay, I did.
Yeah, there we
Alright.
go. You did it.
There we go. And then we can kind of just fly. Alright. There we go.
Did you jump too fast? No, okay, you're right.
Yeah, fine.
What happens is if you... Oh my god.
We're fine.
Okay. I was very scared for you. So if you jump too fast out and start flying, sometimes you won't have full control of Crane and you will just fly in a direction
Yep.
without you being able to like stop it
Salut, tu m'entends?
Yep.
and control it, I mean.
Yeah. So this is what we call like shield fly glitch. You might have noticed I actually used the I used
The
the
shield.
I used the shield in order to. Oh, I actually did it a bit quickly. I actually used the ship to cancel the ship, like the flying. Yeah, it's pretty much the only way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just keep flying pretty much forever. All right. So here I am, like, as we said before, checkpoints in this game are a thing. even if you were playing casually and quitting the main menu at this point and going to like if you decided to just do the bunker quest after doing broadcast and you selected it and then you quitted, you'd have to literally go back to this door, which is the door you'd be coming out of if you didn't quit out, right? If you didn't TP, this is the door you'd be coming out of the area. You can see the sound, that means we actually did it right, and the checkpoint was triggered. Actually, I have to go back now. And then the checkpoint will then be triggered, and then we can proceed with the quest, pretty much. Which is, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's Fountain here.
Yep,
yeah.
It's Fountain.
Yeah.
So now, story time. We managed to get on top of the antenna, we warned everyone, and then the Jets were like, oh my god, there's still people, and they didn't bomb Iran.
Right.
And the GRE called us again, saying, oh, yeah, we're against a wall now because everyone knows, so how about you give us Zere's research so we can create a cure, and we can get you out of Iran.
Right.
And right now we're just gonna give the notes to, I mean the tissue samples we got from Tahir back in the museum. We're gonna give them to Camden in his lab.
Yep.
So he can work on them.
Yep. Also, I don't know why that is, but we just have to wait forever here. It beat us in casually. Literally after killing those two guys, you can see like I actually killed them as DTP'd. Killing those two guys, you still have to wait. Like it doesn't matter. After killing those two guys, you can actually interact with the button here, and then we have to wait. So you just gotta wait forever here. Yeah, but this quest is gonna be out of bounds, waiting time, out of bounds, waiting time, out of bounds, and waiting time. That's what it's gonna be pretty much.
In that order specifically.
Yeah, pretty much. Just a little bit more waiting time. It's really straightforward. Except not really if you don't know what you're doing. But like once you know the out of bounds, there's a few places where you can actually do it quite fast, but like most of the place is mostly just out of bounds really. But yeah. It's still really interesting though, like the out of bounds are actually really nice to do and all that. So and even if you were to do it casually, at certain places you'd still be waiting. If you were to do it like fast, obviously.
Yeah. This is basically the part where the game basically monologues and explains everything to you.
Yep.
So right here we just got out of bounds to skip a vent scene because we were supposed to go inside a vent, go to the other side. But here we just like climbed out of bounds and into the room, and now we're going out of bounds and into on top of another room just to get the trigger.
Yep. Now we'll be waiting for a specific dialogue. And then we'll wait again. Once he says the contamination room, he just said it, but he also needs to say it again. There we go. After this quest. I mean this quest, this subtitle, I'm sorry. There we go. We kill all those guys. We actually have to, I think.
You don't have to, but you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Since you have to wait inside this hallway.
Yeah, might as well. So yeah, I'm waiting on this
here to get the
side of the door.
trigger.
Yep. And then when the yellow square disappears, I can go. And well, I guess.
No, it's right after this dialogue.
Right. So.
Oh
like,
yeah, when it disappears also.
Yeah. There's like multiple
checked the
views
minimap.
you'll queues, yeah. So I'll just wait again.
Be a little bit more on the right because they, I think, moved a little. I mean left. But
there we go.
there we go.
Multiple views your queues you can use. Also, this trigger right there is actually kind of RNG based. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't get it. We actually got it first try, which is actually pretty cool.
If you don't get it, just get into the corner of where we landed and just jump repeatedly until you get the trigger.
Also, I'm literally going out of bounds because they forgot a part of the wall.
Yeah.
This strat was actually found not long ago as well. It's just a missing part of the wall for some reason, which is interesting. Alright, there we go. And here's some more waiting time. The next quest, aptly though, is actually really, really gameplay heavy.
Yeah.
There's not that many
Basically the
glitches
ending
in
of the
it, though.
game.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, I can't remember, because I used to have it in my notes. I don't have them right now. Do you remember the last prompts you have to press?
Asdwa. ASDWAA.
ASDWAA. Sounds good. ASDWAA. Alright.
I can repeat that to you once you go there.
Yeah, sure. Alright. Save warp, we can actually TP to where, well, the entrance was. Well, the entrance being an elevator. It's actually really close. But, you know, save warping is definitely a little bit faster. There we go. And here comes pretty much the end of the quest. I mean, the last quest. And also, well, we're not at the end of the quest quite yet. We have to do one more thing. And this is where we'll use the plastic I was talking about, like, the whole time, pretty much.
Yep.
I'll make...
Toxic trap bombs.
Yeah, exactly. And toxic trap bombs, well, just like DIY grenades will just be used to kill ourselves. But, the DIY grenades will actually not work for this spot because I believe there's two dialogues, like 2 radio calls, and you need to skip the second one pretty much. Because like the first one is actually really quick. So like if you'd kill yourself instantly, you'd skip the first one, but it doesn't actually amount to anything, right?
Yeah.
But if you just skip the second, well, toxic trap bomb will kill you, but like in a specific amount of time.
Yeah. So what happens here is that we're gonna get 2 calls, one from Troy and one from Rice. And what we need to skip is the Rice one. So here we just launch a toxic trap bomb, and you can see on the top left, it kills us over time, and it kills us slowly enough so that it starts the second call.
Yep.
And we can go ahead and respawn, and we'll be able to get a side quest to skip that dialogue.
Yep. It's actually really tight timing.
Yeah, back in the day, we used to do that with 2 grenades. So we initiated the first one, respawned here, and then went back to the tower without being able to run.
Yep.
And throw a grenade, and initiate the second one.
Yeah, I actually saw it. It was really hard, from what I know.
Yeah.
And from what I saw as well.
Because as soon as you touch, as soon as you get inside here, you literally cannot do anything. The animation starts. So you had to jump, throw a grenade, and climb in.
Yep. Seemed like really something else for sure. Alright, so pretty much ending for going for the epilogue at this point. Extraction. It's pretty much just a matter of doing parkour but fast, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Alright. Is there anything specific in this?
Not really.
Yeah. It's really just about going fast, really.
Yeah, I guess the crane jumps.
Right.
If you want to try them.
I'll try them, but yeah, I'll try them.
Boy.
The crane jumps are really hard. You'll see why.
Basically, really tight parkour.
Yep.
It can save up to like I think 20 seconds if done like perfectly.
Yep.
But it's really hard.
Oh yeah, it's really hard, and there's also like what we mean by crane jump is like you can actually jump on like from the crane, one side of the crane to the other, back and forth, and actually like climb the crane really fast instead of like going up the ladders, because ladders in this game are like really slow. The problem is the crane jumps are actually really hard to land, and also if you want to land, I'll switch to a firework by accident. If you want to land all the crane jump, like landing all the crane jumps while Demolisher? Yeah, Demolisher. With the same mistake. Demolisher is like throwing rocks at you is, you know, it's hard. Like avoiding the Demolisher as well as landing all the crane jumps is something else.
Yeah.
Also, we finally encountered the Screamer, but we actually deal with him before it actually does anything. So yeah. And here's an auto scroller. We pretty much just walk forward.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, right now it's supposed to be in a level 4 chase, you can see next to the minimap, and volatiles are behind you and trying to kill you.
Yep.
But with the speed booster, we just run so fast that we just like never encounter any of them.
Yep. I mean, we do see them, but you know that's
Yeah,
it.
but you know, we don't
Yeah.
fight with them or
Yeah.
anything.
Also, you can see I'm like kind of like going on the left when I'm going up the yellow ledges or whatever. It's actually because it's really easy to fall down. Alright, we actually got it. Cool. Sometimes the game will just eat your jump input and you'll just fall off. Happened to me
Yeah.
so many times already. Cool. And yeah, as you can notice, ladders are slow. Really, really slow. You kind of just want to avoid them as much as you can. Just like that, pretty much. Oh, okay.
You almost fell.
Yeah, I almost fell the jump, but we're good. Let's close. Also here, the game removes the ability to jump, so we'll just side dodge a bit.
The ability to run, not jump.
Right, sorry. Alright. You kind of get a glimpse of what we're gonna do for crane jumps. This is pretty much what we're gonna do. We're just gonna be like looking up and down. I mean, looking up, like yo, you see, it's kind of hard to explain, so you see. Also, we get
Yeah.
to listen to probably the best music of Dynamite.
Ah, yes.
It's actually kind of good, in my opinion, at least.
And we get some cat gems in the chat.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Just have to go up there. We're gonna be jumping on this. I'm gonna try to avoid the trash bag animation by vaulting on the zombie instead. Ideally that works. The zombie's actually pretty far away, but it could work. We'll see. Hopefully. Alright. Another part where vaulting is actually really useful. Hopefully I can make this right. Just gonna take a second to drink this. Alright, can I make this? It actually doesn't save you that much time, but
It was
I did
around
it.
a second.
yeah. You know, it saves you the trash bag animation. And we actually did it, so that's cool. I just want to avoid that guy, as well as avoiding the bummer. And we pretty much skipped the whole parkour here. I'm just doing this to trigger a checkpoint. And yeah, we pretty much just skipped everything. Here we go. And here comes the crane jumps. I am gonna concentrate for them.
Basically, what he's doing right now, he has to do it all the way up,
Yeah.
basically. And unless those two parts here where you see walls on the side, so he can't really do the crane jumps.
Yep.
But right after that, yeah, that's gonna be... And also, there is a demolisher throwing rocks right under here. You can hear him.
Yeah.
And yeah, unlucky.
Yeah. I was really unlucky. I guess we'll just do it normally in that case. I mean, we can try it again.
Yeah. Oof.
Okay, it worked. It worked, it worked.
There we go. Oh, never mind.
That was close.
And my fault, sorry.
You jinxed it.
There we go.
Just kidding. Alright.
Wrong side.
I'm like... Crane just
What?
doesn't stop climbing. That was a bit weird. Either way, I mean, we kind of did it. I'm pretty sure that this is still faster than if you were to do it normally. I mean, if
Maybe,
the... Yeah, maybe. Maybe. It'd probably be close, since considering the demolish actually threw a rock at us. But yeah. Alright. There's gonna be a few more parkour sections, and then we'll head to pretty much the best boss fight in the entire game, and probably in all games that you've ever played. I'm being really, really sarcastic, by the way. I
Can't
don't
wait for this boss fight.
Yeah. I don't even know why they did that. You'll see what I mean. I mean, we did talk about prompts earlier, so I guess you can kind of like,
Yeah.
tell.
You failed. Congratulations.
Actually, I almost got it as well. God damn it. It was unfortunate. Yeah, can you
Mine was
repeat the
dead
prompts
back.
are ASDWAA, right?
ASDW. Yeah, as
Right.
do I.
Okay, well, I almost fell again though. We're good. I just triggered a checkpoint. I didn't actually trigger them. I think I didn't
Yes,
trigger the checkpoint.
you did trigger it because you could use the grappling hook.
Right, okay. I mean, I guess it works. So yeah, this is the final boss. It's gonna be like a 5 minutes fight. This is the fight, by the way.
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
3 minutes and 30 seconds, exactly then.
Avec ou sans, t'es un
Yeah,
élément
we did talk
essentiel.
about prompts. It's a cutscene. It's a cutscene with QTEs. There's really
Yeah.
nothing more to it. And the worst part is the QTEs are always the same.
So once you know it,
Once you know it, I guess you remember, but personally I didn't, so. So yeah, the way it's gonna work, there's gonna be a few cutscenes here and there. I mean, few prompts here and there. You did say ASDWAA, but there's Fs, no? Yeah, there's F we have to press in
at
this.
the very end, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
not
a-
I'm not counting the spamming ones. no.
Okay, okay. Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And then we
Okay,
just
then.
press F. There's gonna be this
Press F.
sequence of spamming, and then there's gonna be another sequence. Once the second F sequence ends, this will be the end of the run. It actually comes in like around a minute or something.
Yeah, I think right now it would be in like 1 minute 32 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, they're pretty much just fighting. That's pretty much it, really.
Yeah.
We can also notice that you didn't see it in the cutscene, although mention it, but we did cut his end, so feels good.
Yeah, back in the pit. Also,
Yep.
speaking of story here, I didn't say why we're here. So after we gave the stuff to Camden, we went back to call the GRE, but Rice actually called us instead. And he was like, oh yeah, the GRE promised me to get out of the city if I gave them the notes.
Yep.
So yeah, we're here to, you know, fight Rice and get the notes back, and that's what we've done right now.
Yep. Here comes the GRE helicopter. Waiting for Rise with the Zeri's research. Oop. Big dramatic moment. Holy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Alright,
Also
here
want to
comes
point
the...
out that Crane had a knife in this shoulder that is like, you know, hanging from like 30
Yep.
seconds ago.
Yep.
I mean, he still has the knife. Sorry.
Yep. Alright, here comes the last F spamming.
F
So,
spam.
yep. Will be it as soon as the prompt disappears. That will be it.
Yep.
This is actually a pretty good run, though. Out of bounds were pretty good. It
Yeah.
was also really enjoyable. So,
Did you have your timer on this time?
sorry.
Did you have your timer on
no,
this
I
time?
didn't.
You know
No.
the. Oh, alright.
There we go. The hardest part of the game.
And.
I've just been spamming F this whole time, by the way.
Yeah.
There we go. That is
Time,
that is
huh?
time. Nice. Well, I hope you enjoyed, because I did. I hope you enjoyed too,
That was
Ella.
nice.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess I can take some time, especially before we just move to the next one. Make some shoutouts, I guess. Hologram also plays Dying Light a lot. He's been speedrunning New Game Plus. He plays on his YouTube channel, which is Hologram, OLOGRAME.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Can't even spell my
I'm
name.
butchering it. And I personally am running Dying Light 1, Dying Light 2, and Dead Rising games. Also, always running Dead Rising game as well. Yeah, I've been having like a lots of fun with Dynamite Dude lately. So it's also a really interesting game. It's
So if you
much
want to
different
start
as well.
speedrunning, make sure to go on the speedrunning Discord. We're gonna help you. We're all friendly in there.
Yeah.
You can ask any questions you want. It's a very open-minded game. You can really come here and do one run or just, you know, do as many runs as you want.
Yeah.
It's a really open community.
Yeah. And the community's been growing a lot with Dynamite 2 as well, so lots of people are there to help. If you're into it. Yeah, that would be it for us.
Yep.
Thank you for shots fired as well, Matt. Appreciate it. And thank you for watching as well.